Big up everybody. Happy New Year. It's New Year's Eve, people. It's New Year's Eve. Happy New Year to all the people who live on the other side of the world. All the people that live in Australia, New Zealand, and all of those places. Big up to every one of you. Big up Logan. Some United fan thinks we're in a title race. I told you all yesterday, man, I hate to be wrong, but I told you all it was going to be a tough game today. And if it wasn't an inspired Marcus Rashford, who's just on hot streak at the moment, we would have got a draw. It would have been a 0-0 draw. That's where the game was heading. But yeah, we'll big up Rashford. Big up for Tenhag for making the change and understanding that, yeah, you got dropped for the first half because you were late to a team meeting and then sorting him out. But make sure, people, we're in here, man. Happy New Year to all of you, genuinely. Match reaction to Manchester United. For Wolverhampton faces Manchester United. It wasn't easy. Only Rashi sleeps in, mate. He's sleeping in now, I'm telling you that much. But it is what it is, people. But it is what it is. Big up Alicia Sinkanova. Good evening, and Mr. Yeah, the Rascals are out at the moment. I'm trying to get them in because there's a lot of fireworks going off already. But I don't know where they are. I've left the door open, so hopefully they'll run in a minute. It's a washout. I don't know where you are in the world, but it's a washout in Manchester. It's just been raining all day. But like we said, let's get on with it, people. Let's get on with it. Let's get on with it. 3 points, I'll take it. You don't have to play amazingly every game or every time. I thought today you can, you know, I always call it as I see it. You know what I mean? And I'm not afraid to stick my neck out and call it. I called it yesterday. I knew it was going to be a tough game. I knew it was going to be a tough game today. And some of the guys thinking 2-3-0, all that. We'd made the chances. We made the chances, but we couldn't put them away. We couldn't put them away. Big up, Tom. Happy New Year, bro. You good? Hopefully he'll join it. Yeah. Happy New Year, Tom. You okay?
Yeah. Happy New Year, Nurden.
Yeah. So I knew it was going to be a tough game. I didn't want to be right. I wanted to come on here genuinely, honestly. I wanted to come on here today and be apologetic and tell you all, oh, guys, what the hell is going on here? I'm so sorry. I was wrong. I should not doubt this team. I should have more confidence in. Did I? You know what I mean? It was a scrappy game. Of course, Wolves kind of like, they tried to spoil the game. De Gea didn't really do anything, any make saves other than one from the corner and the free kick. I didn't see De Gea being troubled that much. But when we had the chances, some of the chances fell to Anthony and Anthony Martial. And both of them, for me, had horrendous games. To me, personally, and somebody will say that to me, oh, that's a crazy take. But I thought that was the worst performance of Anthony Martial in the Man United shirt. Because I don't mind, you don't have to score as a striker all the time, because I know that some strikers, especially being a striker for Man United, you're doing the graveyard shift. So making a lot of runs off the ball, not being found, because you're not a midfielder. They don't play the ball first time. We don't have fullbacks that play that ball first time and with accuracy. We don't have that. So I understand that, but hold the ball up. Make sure your first touch is clean and it's clear, and then you can pass it off. Do that. He didn't do any of that today. And you know what? I was the chairman of Martial FC. I used to be. But now, him and Rashford and anybody else, there's no excuses, because we've got a real coach. We have a real coach at this football team now, football club, a real coach who understands the principles of discipline, how team unity. If somebody breaks one of the rules, you're benched. And I like that, and I want that, because I told you, look, I was telling you, all in the Ollie's reign, too many players were taking an absolute biscuit. So, and I don't expect Man United to play amazing all the time. Under Fergie's reign of those 13 titles, by the way, happy birthday to the great man. Happy birthday, Ferguson. Alex Ferguson. I'm not one of this services, man. I don't believe in this services, but happy birthday. Happy 81st birthday. One of the legends of football, world football, but one of our legend, you know what I mean? The man who was in this pedestal, 13 Premier League titles, unmatched, incredible. So, but not all the games were amazing. I remember going to games at Old Trafford and they were like, absolutely horrendous, but we'll nick it 1-0. So I'm not expecting Man United to be dominant, but we don't take them. We create chances, but we don't take them. So that's the point. So that's why people are coming at me at Twitter going, the worst performance. Yeah, it was his worst performance. And you know what? People are like, oh, Bruno didn't do anything today. Well, you know what? Bruno at least assisted, and he works hard. He tracks back. He runs and he battles. Do that for me. I can take if you're not on form. I can take that. But battle and fight. And when you press, don't just jog over. Press really hard. Anyway, Tom, go ahead, bro. How did you see that game?
Yeah, I mean, probably similar to how a lot of people saw it.
Tell me. Hello, Tom? I can't hear you. I think you just dropped out, Tom.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello? Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Start
right,
again.
there we go. Anyway, what I was saying was with the new... What I always see with Wolves and stuff is you go there, the atmosphere, the ground, you know, we stand so close to the pitch. It's very enclosing and it's like a... How could I put it? It's like a cheaper version of Anfield, isn't it, really? The atmosphere that they can contain in the ground and how close the stands are toward the pitch and everything to engage with the atmosphere and the fans. It's a very hostile place to go to, especially if you don't get the first goal anyways. And even into the hands of a new manager as well, his first home game, that obviously will play on a lot of people's minds. And I want to cast a couple of people's minds back to a couple of years ago under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer when we played Wolves. We used to go to this stadium, Nuruddin, and those players used to absolutely brick it. They used to shit it and brick it because when Wolves' compactive style and the way that they press you, none of these players, and I mean none of them, could hold the ball for more than 2-3 seconds before they had to pass it back. None of them. But now you look at this team, there is those passing lines there. We can cut through teams, and obviously we will get on to such as Martial and Anthony. But I think the passing's a lot better now under Tenhag, if I'm being honest. You look at the results. At the end of the day, football's the results business. You're not always going to play brilliantly and amazingly. At the end of the day, a win's a win. You get the 3 points, you move on. But Martial and Anthony, listen, Martial, he's been here now. I've forgotten how many years now. He's injury prone, and then people say you throw him in the team. What does he give you? What honestly does he give you? Because I've not seen none of that form that I saw at pre-season. That pre-season, everyone was like, "Oh, Martial's back. Tenhag's going to use him this, that, the other." Gets another injury. Boom! Before long, gives you nothing again. Has one, I'd say, okay game against Nottingham Forest, an okay game against Liverpool. People are on the hype train again, thinking that it's all coming back and everything. I don't see what's left in him, to be honest. Anthony, fucking hell, where do I even start? First 3 games that I've seen him play, you thought, you know what? Give him a little bit of time. Give him a bit of patience. But at Manchester United, I'm sorry, that right wing position, you've paid over the odds for a player who the manager obviously wanted, didn't take a lot of convincing to come. He did all his shenanigans before the World Cup to make sure that he wasn't going to get injured at during to go to the World Cup because he missed the first 2 games. Nobody wants to comment about, and people want to slag off Cristiano Ronaldo and things like that. Well, same goes to Anthony. Then the showboating. You showboating. You've got nothing to show for it, Anthony. I'm sorry. You what? 4 yards away from the goal, and you can't head it in like that. Martial, he didn't even get anything on the ball. And it went through to Anthony. You had 2 players who were 5 yards away from the goal, and you couldn't put it in. The Garnacho chance, listen, is a young player. You can understand that. The pressure. You shouldn't have to put pressure on those players. And then the final point that I'll make anyway, Nuruddin, obviously the situation with Rashford and Tenhag where he's enforcing the rules, but I like that. You know, I think that's set a precedent and set a statement to the whole team of, listen, you can be the main man for the past couple of weeks or since the restart. You can be the main man, but if you don't follow the guidelines and you don't follow the rules of my leadership, you won't play. And I think that is a good precedent to have. Even Rashford himself openly come out in an interview. I overslept. I bent the rules. I admit it. Apologise. And we move on. Luke Shaw's interview as well, I thought was brilliant. when he characterised Ten Hag's regime, the rules that he puts in place, and the team emphasis him. But I just think that with Ten Hag, ultimately, he's getting the best out of in many cases, I think a lot of them are underperforming. He's getting the best out of a lot of underperforming players. And, ultimately, he needs that backing, whether it be January, whether it be the summer. But when he's got his hands tied behind his back, let's be honest, I think he's doing a brilliant job at the moment in time. He's got no centre forward at all. Right winger Anthony, I've not seen anything since that Arsenal game, if I'm being perfectly honest. Since that first game where he burst onto the scene, there's no explosiveness that we saw at Ajax. There's no flair. There's no creativity. There's nothing at the moment. And if anybody's getting dropped out of that front line, I'd probably drop the pair of them, to be honest with you. If you've got to play Rashford centre forward until you can buy somebody in, you've got to do it. Garnacho should be starting ahead of him. Even if Sancho comes back, I'll be honest, I'll take Sancho on that right wing instead of Anthony right now at this moment in time. Because at least Sancho's had some time away from the environment to gather his thoughts and gather his head. But ultimately, I just think a couple of years ago we would have lost this game or potentially draw. But with Ten Hag, we're finding a way to get over the line, which I think is something different and a lot better for us anyway. And we're sitting in that top four, so all good.
Yeah, big up, Tom. Listen, I say that personally, Martial has played decent. He's played decent this season when he's been injured. Actually, I've been surprised by some of his performance. I thought Liverpool had a really good game when he came on in the second half. When he came on in the second half, I thought he had a really good game. Set up Rashford. He was a threat. He was running down the channels and against Liverpool. He was holding up the ball. So they're right game. To me, I'm not asking you to score all the time. What I'm asking
That's the thing.
Do the basics. I want you to do the basics. When you're having a bad game, do the basics. Work a bit harder. That's all I'm asking you to do. So today, a lot of people came out. I'm taking a lot of heat. You know what I mean? There's a lot of partiality. And people are messaging me saying, why are you being so harsh and whatever. But I'm like, I only call it as I see it. It's an opinion. That's all it is. But big up Bumbaye. Bumbaye, talk to me. How did you see that game? And I told you yesterday, that game wasn't going to be easy. I told you guys. But you were telling me 3-0, 2-0, whatever. We got to go there. He was looking for a draw. It was 78 minutes, something like that. Obviously, the other goal got chalked off by Rashford. And now 2 goals are being chalked off him because of handball. That rule is the most ridiculous rule in football. That is the most ridiculous rule in football. How is it if it ricochets of his hand and he's not handballing it in? His hand is by his side, right next to his body. It's ridiculous rule. But go ahead. How did you see that game?
Big up, everybody. Happy New Year. Big result today. Told you, easy peasy. Easy work, Dino. Never in doubt, right?
Okay, nice.
I swear, man. The hairs on my ass started to fall off. Flipping heck. Man, you called it. I was only 3 goals out, though, Dino. I said 4-0. But you know what? That's a big 3 points. I thought first half, we did what we know we can do. Looked a bit lost. Game was passive. Allowed them into it. Second half, much better. And you know what, man? Defense is the defense, man. I'm loving our defense these days, honestly. Varane, monster. Luke Shaw, really good. Wan-Bissaka, you know me, man. Wan-Bissaka, I don't think he's doing too much different than before. He's just playing in a better side now. And I think he's got the potential to improve under Ten Hag. I've always been a fan of his.
Yeah, he played well today. He did well.
Yeah, I think that's 2 games, 2 good performances from him for me. No, I'm not saying he's been amazing, but he's been good. You know what I mean?
He said he's missed a lot of the season, and for him to come back in and not look out of place, that's a lot. Yeah, man.
Malacia, I always like. You know, what I mean, he's not the only problem with the young man. He's got a bad first touch, I think. Other than that, he's a little bull terrier. He gets stuck in.
Yeah,
Casemiro.
I thought in the first half, if you check, I mean, I put the tweet out. I thought he was shocking. First half, him, Martial, and Anthony was shocking. I thought in the second half, Malacia improved more than better than them. He improved. He wasn't giving the ball away. He gave the ball away a lot in the first half. And in the second half, he drastically improved. And to be fair to Anthony, second half defensively, he got back in because there was a moment where they had this tactic where we were narrow because we tried to play Wan-Bissaka. and Malacia as inverted kind of inverted kind of midfielders, and they were hitting the ball out wide. Now, I said that on the Tenhag. I put the tweet. I said Tenhag's got to work that out second half, and we did. We did much better. We didn't give them the space or the room in the second half, and I thought he dealt really well with a middleweight champion. You know what I mean? The heavyweight boxer. I thought he dealt with him really well.
Yeah, he did. As a team, you know what I mean? We crowded him out. At times there was 2 or 3 on him. And Malacia, I can't fault the work rate. He's still young. You know, we didn't pay 50, 60 million for the kid. He's a young boy. Big step up to Man United. But his enthusiasm is always there. So I've not got no complaints. But I think the first touch, it has to improve, man. It's important at this level. But Casemiro was beautiful. Second half, he brought the way he reads the game. He's always where he's supposed to be, which is so important for that defense.
At times, you know what I talk about him being slow. At times, that kid, I don't know who he is, but he ran past him, and a couple of the centre halves dropped the shoulder on him. But once you get past him, it's done. Like, he ain't got the pace to catch you up or to try to recover. He ain't got that recovery speed anymore. But he reads it really well. Go ahead.
It was like Tom's right in saying this was a difficult game. You know, they locked up shop pretty well and they counted on us, and they had their opportunities. On the balance of play after 2 halves, I think we deserve 3 points, to be honest. And I think today again, do you know what? There's chances there to score a few more goals. And Donny van de Beek was shite today when he came on. He had an opportunity. He's got to put Rashford in there. That's the ball. You've got to give.
I thought he gave us some energy, though. I thought he gave us more energy than Martial was doing, though. You know, when he came in, like, he played a bit of us in the false 9. And I thought he gave us a bit more energy. But, yeah, that pass, as a professional, you've got to make that. Nobody next to him, he's got to hit that the first time and then put him through 1-on-1.
Yeah, he's through there. And there's another one there. He just fires the ball straight through. Wait for Rashford, man. It's 3-on-2 there. Do you know what I mean? Wait, Rashford went nuts on him. You've got to be better at this level with that much time and space.
To be fair, though, I thought he got the pass right, passing it to Bruno the second time, but Bruno messed it up.
I'm talking about what he got wrong, bro.
Yeah.
You know, and it's simple stuff.
You know what? There was another time where it was 3 against 3, and he had the ball, and it was Rashford on the right.
Yeah,
that's Bruno on the left, and he picked the right ball, but Bruno messed it up.
Yeah. I think, you know what? I'm just happy we got out there. It's a massive win that. Lopetegui will get them tight. There will be, for some teams, you know, a difficult team to play against, and they'll get a little bit better under Lopetegui. He's a half-decent coach. But you know what? We got our goal, and second half we improved. We needed a kick up the arse. Tenhag said to him at half-time in his interview, listen, if you're going to continue like this, we're not going to win this game. You need to up the tempo, man, up the aggression. And they woke up second half. I think we're going to win this game. You need to up the tempo, man, up the aggression. Anthony, man, he's not done too badly, but I think the last 2 games, his ball retention usually is okay, but he's not able to beat a man. And if you're struggling to beat a man, you got a sweet left. Put a nice delivery, and even the deliveries were no good. So he's got to up the ante, that boy. He's got to get it going. And, bro, I'll finish with Martial because you know me. I just don't rate Martial. I never have. I keep going along for the ride. Somehow you guys convince me. I just feel like he's a dead weight. I don't know about all this hold up the ball, bring others into play shit. I just don't feel he is what we need. But right now, we do have to wrap him in that cotton wool because there's nobody else. But Anthony Martial, it's been 7 years, man, of start-stop. He's not a striker. Just because somebody can finish does not make them a striker. How many balls against Nottingham Forest did we flash across the box? And today, again, Martial's is in the false 9 positions. He's not in a striker position when you watch those balls being played across the face of the goal. You want a guy that eats and breathes goals. We spoke about this last time when Rachel was on here. I said, look, he's not the guy. You need a serious striker that sniffs opportunities, man, that has the desire to get there ahead of the defenders. He's not that guy. I'm not sure what he is. I think he's about as effective on the left as he is in the middle. But I've always thought this about him. But I keep being patient with him because there is an amount of people that keep saying, no, you're not seeing it, you don't get it. I'm sorry, I'm not seeing it or getting it, but that's all I've got for you on that performance. Big win, considering Newcastle and City are dropping points.
Yeah, big up. Irfan, I told you about it. I told you all yesterday. You were all telling me something different. And I will say to defend Martial. Martial has been good. He had 2 bad seasons on the Oli where he was injury prone. But before that, Martial was the guy that a lot of times under Mourinho bailing us out, and people forget that. So I'm not against Martial. I'm just thinking that, to me, you don't have to. If you're not feeling confident, he's had bad injuries, a lot of bad injuries, as much as Rashford has had. And Rashford now is fully fit, and you see how much he's flying. I'm not giving up on Martial yet, but to me, it shows the fact that Man United need an option. On days like that, 60 minutes, get off, mate. 55 minutes, you're not doing it, get off. Some of the striker goes on there and give us something different. But for me, when you're not on form, do show me something. And Bruno did that. Bruno didn't have a brilliant game today. He had a horrendous game, but he got the assist. And he worked hard when he needed to work hard. And at times when we were getting counter-attacked, right at the back. But let me just get this from Seymiassi. Seymiassi is in Cloud 9 tonight. They won 4-2. We need to congratulate Seymiassi. Seymiassi, this wild take on a New Year's Eve, I don't know what's in that pipe. Whatever you serve on that pipe, you've doubled it tonight, and you've come with champions in the making. Better than Argentina team. Wow. Irfan, I told you guys, and I genuinely hope to come on here, because I've got no pride business. I can admit it. When I get something wrong in football, it's all about opinion-based. I can say, hand my hand up and say, you know what, I got this wrong, right? You guys were right. I didn't see it. But I'm watching that game. It felt like the first half we were better, actually. And we got worse and worse. And how can you get worse? In the second half, we were worse. Defensively, we were better. But in terms of up the pitch, we got worse. Go ahead, Irfan.
Well, no, because when I was watching the first half, I was thinking, shit, Nuruddin's going to give a shit for being so cocky about us winning, because I predicted 3-1. Like, Mbaye said 4-0. And to be honest with you, like I said, you know, this was the Man United we hate. This is the Man United I hate. This is the Man United that give me heart attacks. This is the Man United I don't want to watch. And I'm with Mbaye today. I'm done with Martial. I'm done with this guy. I'm done with him. Yeah. What really annoys me is that we've still got half the team play like they're scared children. That's the problem. There's just fear in them, right? I mean, you can say that we played badly, and you mentioned the 12:30 kickoff, Nuruddin. Oh, we're rubbish at 12:30. And I was saying, you know, me and Mundo and Mumbai was saying yesterday that we should beat these guys. We were saying we're going to win 3-1. And to be honest with you, if we took our chances, that should have been an easy game. I mean, I don't want to give Garnacho too much grief, but that chance he missed. You saw that chance, didn't you? He just him on his own, where the misplaced back pass, you just slot in, not even dink a shoulder bang, go around him, score. And then you look at Martial's header, you know, the one that was a few yards out, and just had to tap it, and he missed it. And then obviously, what's he called? Anthony tried to side, but he was offside. I mean, these are the things that just irritate me about United. Just scared. No one can take the initiative. No one can go, I'm going to take responsibility, whatever. No, that's the problem with this team. It drives me nuts. We made, a slightly difficult game, so difficult. You know, almost hanging on with 5 minutes to go. And I thought Nuruddin's give us grief for saying, "Oh, I told you so." 12:30 kickoff. I said, "No, Nuruddin, you're negative, right? I get that. You're beaten up psychologically by 10 years of Man United, BS. I get that, right? But if you look at this team, we should have coasted that game." You know, you say, we should, it was going to be a difficult game. It didn't have to be that difficult. But like I said, half the team play like they're scared. They're not fearless. They're scared. We had 4 good players today. Casemiro, Varane, Luke Shaw, Wan-Bissaka. They are the 4 solid players we had today that kept us in that game, right? Like I said to you, Nuruddin, I know you were. That Garnacho chance, come on, please. You got to put that away. Martial, he gets in the position, he got headed. We need a striker. A striker would have got that. A taller guy would have headed that in bang, right? they didn't do anything apart from that one run I saw and the free kick that hurt us. You know, Traore comes on and does one run. Everyone looks at his biceps and go, "I'm not going to go tackle him." And then what happened is we doubled up on him. We had three. We didn't do anything after that. So we made a slightly tricky game into a horrible game to watch. Honestly, this game, I mean, it drove me nuts watching that, thinking, and I was thinking about you going, "Yeah, I told you so, I told you so." And you're right to a degree, but I was right as well. We were right as well. We made that game difficult when it wasn't that difficult game because they haven't really got any quality. They've got an old man Costa up front. They took him off a thingy and they brought another guy on. They haven't got it. We just made life difficult because we have got bottles everywhere. Like I said, I'm done with Martial. 2 in and out of the game, cannot thingy. And, you know, I mean, look, the reason I got irritated from the very start is that when I hear that our sort of talisman at the moment, the guy who's giving us any sort of edge, has overslept and he's disciplined, I'm thinking, okay, how bad a start is that? And then I think, okay, so what does the team think when your main goal scorer is banned from the play in the first half because a disciplinary issue like oversleeping? Surely that gets into the play's main. So I was thinking maybe it was that. Maybe that just put the team in a bad foot straight away. Because you know you do when one of your main guys goes out, we're all a team together. You know, if you play the team sport, you can't be sort of relaxed about it. So these are the reasons why I think it was a nightmare game for us to a degree, where it should have been a stroll. And it was just horrible watching it. You know, Donny had a chance to put, I can't remember, put Rashford in. Bruno had chances to put people in. On the break, we should have finished this lot off. And there we go, back to that crap Man United that I hate. Makes you want to get rid of half the team. And like I said, those 4 guys, and De Gea, actually, I think I missed out De Gea. De Gea, Casemiro, Varane, Luke Shaw, Wan-Bissaka, actually, they kept us in the game. And I give it to Ten Hag. Taking off... what's he called? Ericsson to put Fred on was actually a very good move. It turned into a very, very good sub. So positive, still got to get rid of half these players to tell you the truth for United to grow. But it turned out to be a good day because obviously City drew. I wanted City to win because I don't want Arsenal to win the league. But having said that, we'll take the victory and let's hope that Ten Hag gives them another little slap and say, "Guys, I don't want you doing this anymore." And let's hope Rashford doesn't oversleep again. That he's banned from because I think if he played the first half, we'd have been 1 or 2-0 up in the first half, I reckon, because he's the only one that's got that direct cutting edge to a degree at the moment. The rest of our players have got cutting edge, and Anthony is lost. And Martial, I don't know what Martial's on, but Anthony, I don't know what he's doing. He's bottled it. I told you, he's another one of the bottlers that we've got. We've got 4 or 5 bottlers in the team, and that's what it comes down to. We made a difficult game into a very difficult game, and we didn't need to.
I'm sorry, I disagree. I'm going to bring Tom in a second. I disagree.
Yeah, no more signing anybody called Anthony, please.
Listen,
I know, no more, please, no more. Go on, let Nuruddin disagree. Let's say we got disagree. Go on.
I totally disagree with you.
Yep.
You guys were not right. I told you it's a tough game, and I told you yesterday as well. Man United make look.
Yeah, but Nuruddin, I said it didn't need to be a tough game.
Let me finish what you said. I said to you guys yesterday that Man United make loads of chances, but we don't score them. Right? So this idea of Garnacho should have scored. No, we don't. Every game we miss sitters. Every game we miss chances. We create so many. The amount of chances we create to goal ratio is absolutely disturbing. It's disgusting. It's like the whole team.
I hope there's a stat somewhere in about that. I hope there's a stat. I really hope there's a stat.
Listen to me. It's like we're bloody Nunes now. Nunes is doing amazingly well for Liverpool, getting into positions, but he can't finish his dinner. That's what our whole front line is. We can't finish. So I disagree with that. I told you it's going to Molineux. It's a tough game for us. They're a bogey team. And all you guys were like, you kept talking about the position they're in. And I'm telling you, and I said that yesterday, regardless whatever position they're in the league, I don't watch that. I watch the games. And for 76 minutes, it was looking for a 0-0 draw. That's what it was looking like. And luckily, Marcus Rashford is on the form of his life at the moment, where I have not really seen him do that. I've not really seen him play that quick 1-2, bully 1 or 2 defenders out the way and smash that in. And that, he saved us today. He saved us. It was his grace. I'm glad that for the principles and the discipline, I'm glad that Ten Hag, because when you make really bold decisions, got to work for you. But yeah, the back line, Varane was fantastic. De Gea made 2 saves. They weren't attacking. They had a couple of openings on the counter attack, but they weren't attacking us as much. But Man United in terms of creating stuff, like clear-cut chances. And a lot of times, I'm not defending Martial today because for me, I look at the fundamentals. I look at when strikers are not getting into the positions. That to me concerns me. When they're not even getting into positions to be able to score. What doesn't concern me when he miss? Because I think it'll come. It'll come. It's a bit of confidence, bit of luck. It'll come. What disturbed me about Martial today? All of the things when he's in the team and when he's out the team that we miss and Boumbaye disregard, right? But I respect his opinion. That's his opinion. It's that the fundamentals where he comes short, stands on the ball, takes a bit of breather for our midfield and our defense to be able to move up. Today, every ball he got bullied by those two centre halves. They were quicker to him than every ball. Every time he was on the ball, he was giving it away. And I just couldn't understand. I was like, what the hell is this? So for me, the basics and the fundamentals. But Tom, I don't want to say like too much. It's 5 wins in a row. We've got to try to look for the positive. And like I said, many times in Fergie's 13 Premier League title reign, there were horrendous games where we just nicked it. Do you think that to me it's a bit of a false stone because I saw this with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as well. Now, if Ole was in charge today, we either got beat, and even Rashford said it, and Luke Shaw said it as well, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it was just Rashford, but we get beat, and I think Scholes and Rio both said it. United get beat today if it was passing. So is there a little bit of grit in there? And the stats are really amazing, actually, on the Tenhag. If we're in a winning position in second halves, we've got the best defensive record in second half football in the country. And I repeat for the people, the best second half defensive performance in the Premier League. But unfortunately, the game's not.
The defense, unfortunately, the defense wins you nothing because if that Jimenez chance goes in at the end, it's 1-1 at the end of the day. If the Neves free kick goes any closer per decimal centre to the top corner, it's in 1-1, 2-1. You might lose the game. All for what? Martial and Anthony won't be able to score from what? 2-3 yards. Like it's scandalous at the end of the day with some of the players. But I still go back to the same point that we all made and we all agreed upon at the start of the season was majority of this team. I'm sorry, they're still bottlers. They don't know anything about winning. Martial, he's won nothing. He's proved nothing to be number 9 of Manchester United. There's strikers out there that you can get who have proved it maybe in another European league or somewhere else. But they have the credentials. They have the potential. What does Martial have left now? He's what, 20? I don't even fucking know how old he's now. 27 years old. And what has he done? You put a Ballon d'Or contract in his first ever contract he signs. He's nowhere near the Ballon d'Or awards to even attend it, let alone bloody win it.
Tom, can you just deal with this comment?
Martial 3 goals this season and he started about 4 games. He also has 2 assists. He can definitely contribute more once his fitness is where it needs to be. Our fan base is too negative. Yeah, but you can have 3 goals so far this season out of 4 games. You can have 2 assists. Is it a long-term plan? Is it a guarantee that he's going to be here from now till the end of the season? No, it isn't. And like I said, there's far better operators out there that you can get than Anthony Martial at this moment in time. People are cussing about the João Felix deal. I think a lot of us would take João Felix right now over a Martial.
Big time.
Because I'm telling you now, Atletico Madrid, would they take him? I don't hear all these clubs around Europe wanting Anthony Martial, but there's always clubs wanting João Felix for some reason. I wonder why that is. Maybe because of the age, maybe because of the price tag or whatever it is. But there's nothing left there. And, at the end of the day, I think we need to cut his losses where we are ultimately. And if we can get I don't even know, a quarter of the transfer that we got for him, I think he'd go back to somewhere in France, a Marseille or a Lille, somewhere like that, a Lyon. A club in France, I think, would take him for a reasonable fee. But ultimately, I think there has to be that change now up front because Tenhag has made these comments and saying that he demands the most from his players. But some of these players, mate, they still bottle it at the end of the day. I'm sorry, they're bottlers. Anthony, he's done nothing in his career and he does all the showboating. And I think, I can't remember who put it in the comment, he's like a fidget spinner. spins, you know, the spin goes round his name, you know, Anthony. But what has he done? Nothing. He won a couple of Eredivisie titles. Means nothing. And I don't just go that for the player. Even Tenhag. Tenhag needs to prove himself. He needs to win bigger and better trophies than Eredivisie titles and Dutch Cups. And do I think he will do with the right backing? Yes. But you have to get him the players that he wanted. And ultimately, the price we paid for Anthony, if you half that when you would have bought him in June, you would have had £50 million there to go and get that striker that you need right now. And you can get a striker out there of decent quality for £50 million. The names are there, Nuruddin. Your boy, Sesko, Skamaka, you could have got for £50 million. If you'd have held out until January, you could get those players for £50 million. Vlahovic, Juventus are in absolute disarray at the moment. You're telling me you couldn't do a cut price deal to go and get somebody like that? Those are players with pedigree. Those are players with potential and promise. What does Anthony Martial have left for you at the moment? What, 3 goals in 4 games, and there's no guarantee that he'll stay fit for the end of the season? And then who do you have? You don't have Ronnie anymore. What are you going to do? Look at what? I don't even know. Will Fisher, somebody in the Blooming Academy. Try and promote them as a striker. What are you going to do? Play Garnacho false 9? Play Ericsson false 9 like he had to do for the first 2 games at season? Trial and error. What do we have? We've got no options. This is the problem.
Exactly. I want to go to Bombaye. Bombaye, listen, this is what the Glazer ownership gives to you. Like, now, obviously, Sancho. Did somebody say yesterday that Sancho's back? Or was that somebody had me? I think somebody...
No, he's in Manchester, apparently. And he's doing an individual programme at Carrington.
Okay. So, because I didn't see any more reports about it. So, somebody didn't do me. But big up, everybody. Happy New Year to all of those of you who are, you know, and especially those of you in the other side of the world, Australia and New Zealand. But Happy New Year. I'm so happy that we got the 3 points today. Honestly, I was so relieved when that referee blew the whistle. But it just shows you what Glazonomics and Glazer ownership has done to this football club, where we're relying on one guy to stay fit. And the guy putting in a stinker today. Like I said, a lot of people come at me on Twitter, but I said that to me, I don't ever expect Martial to play worse than that he played today. I said that's his worst performance in Man United shirt. I said that because he didn't do even the basics right. But it shows you where we are, where our manager, Erik Ten Hag, now is coming out, basically talking like exactly similar to Fergie, saying no value in the market. Basically saying we have to look at the financial criteria. Do fucking Chelsea manager do that? Does Klopp do that? Does Pep do that? Does Eddie Howe do that? The only managers who talk about money are Man United managers. They're the only managers who talk about money. It's absolutely shocking.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, but Nuruddin, wait a second.
Let me go to Bombaye. Bombaye. It just, to me, it typifies anything. So this idea of us finishing top 4 or winning trophies, I don't see it. And most of you guys get giddy after one decent performance against the bottom of the fucking league.
All right, look, I've got my voice of reason. The real Bombaye is here now. This game today, when I was watching it, you were haunting my brains. I was thinking, shit, he's right. He's going to slaughter us now. And it turned out to be a hard-fought 1-0. But you know what? I think the players, we played a very difficult game. For whatever reason, we made it difficult at times. We didn't finish, which is a problem. We are creating chances. But we got 3 points. Perhaps in previous days, we wouldn't have got more than a point out of that game. I think part of the process of Ten Hag, we're still going to we're not out the woods yet in terms of we have a really wonderful game and then we have maybe a 50% of what we saw the previous game, like it happened today. I think that will still be part of the repertoire, unfortunately. We're still ironing some kinks out. And it's not excuses or anything. That's just genuinely what I believe. It's part of a process. And we will hopefully get there. But there is a lot of good signs still in terms of the passing, in terms of the chances created. They were low blocking today. It was difficult. And they were countering us. And we did push that high line and we got caught. You play with risk. It happens. But it's good that you can win a game like that with a few passengers. And I think seeing Anthony Martial's performance today, I don't want to go too carried away with him and Anthony, because Anthony has done some good things. I really like his work off the ball. He puts an effort in. He's one of these guys that walks around, thinks, yeah, I'm Anthony. It's not that. It's, he's a guy that has scored, I think, 3 or 4 goals, important goals. He had some chances today. It wasn't a good game, and the Nottingham Forest wasn't great. And Martial also is not. I'm not his biggest fan, but you know what? He's better than that, and we just have to accept it. We have to accept it. I think it's just showing when we have days like this the need for a striker, and it's kind of like when you used to always last season. I mean, again, I like Scott McTominay. I think Fred brings something to the party that is useful, but I understand people were really upset, and now you see the difference with Casemiro, a striker in this team, with wingers to actually find somebody, hit somebody, fullbacks to find somebody that is, busting a gut, man, to get that goal. Will again, make us better. So the deficiencies are highlighted, which is a good thing. And Erik ten Hag, we're looking at the Glazers here. Look at us. We're talking about the Glazers. Again, they're in the limelight for the wrong reasons. Erik ten Hag, don't do what Mourinho did. Don't blow up just for fear of being called a yes man. Erik knows he needs a striker. The Glazers will have to pull through with a striker. Something will have to give. But he's playing it right. And the thing with Rashford today is beautiful. How he handled it. He said, look, Rashford is our most important player at the moment. The goals he's bringing. He made a mistake. He paid for it. He came on. He won the game. We move on. We move on. So it's a good day. It's a very good day. It's a great result. And we carried passengers and we didn't play our best. And Wolves away is not easy. As you said, bogey ground. It was a hard one, but we got through it. So I'm very happy in that regard. To play bad, carry some passengers, get 3 points in a game like that is a major relief. And I think you could see it in the players after the full-time whistle. They were really relieved and happy they got the 3 points. But I do think, bro, we did earn it in the end, the 3 points. We deserved it. And we could have, if we just put one of those chances away. You got the Garnacho chance. Martial, Anthony has a header. He's got to send it back where it came from. It goes straight at the keeper. He has the other chance where he doesn't miss the header sort of thing. So we've got to address that. If we get another goal, we can see the game out. It maybe changes the geography of the game, the dynamic of it. So it's not all bad. It's not all bad. It's actually a decent day.
Something to this. Big up Kimmy. I like people who've got a different opinion. Exactly. So she's talking about Lillis. Our team has only lost one in about 14 or 15 games. Our fan base keeps slating players. You got to back your players. Irfan, says something to that. Is there a thing that where we've got to? And then he replies to it. As Kimmy said a long time ago, we go and lose. We go in mad. We win. We're not happy. Don't understand what. Are we?
No. Come on. Wait a second. Who's not happy that we didn't win? I almost punched the flipping wall when we scored. I was like, I was going nuts. This game, I won't be funny. It drove me nuts. This game, watching this game, because obviously we were talking about last night, and like I said to you, I repeat, when I heard that disciplinary with Rashford, I was just thinking the way I was thinking that must be in the psyche of the players. But look, Nuruddin, you keep making these points about Glazonomics and this and that. Of course, we know them and they're not going away, right? They're like a little halo above our heads, right? But there's a point where Ten Hag knows, the staff know, everyone knows we've got this, we've got this poison in our system. But, you still have to fight it, though. You still have to go, okay, this is the team we got. This is what we're going to do on the pitch. This is what we're going to do. Because man to man, you're not terrible players. I've got to get you to be better players, okay? And, let's be honest. He's improved the team from Ollie big time, right? But when we look at games like today, we're thinking, come on, man. So frustration...
What do you say to this point?
Wait a second. No, I'm not having it, right? The reason I'm not going hard at Anthony is because Anthony's new. Anthony's a Brazilian guy. Okay, he's been in Europe, but he's come to England. It's a whole different ballgame. It's a whole different world in a way.
That's
so
true.
I'm only going to give him a bit of slack this year. I'm going to cut him, even though I hated this player, even though I think he's a coward still, right, at the moment. I know it's harsh.
Did you see him jump out of the goalkeeper? Did you see that?
Of course. Nerdy, that's what I'm saying. But he's scared, but I'm cutting him slack because he's new to the country. He's new to the people, new to the culture. We're not the same as Dutch people. We're very different people. Okay. So I'm going to cut him some slack because it's early days yet, right? Being a foreigner, I'll cut him some slack. But Anthony Martial at 27, the only reason I don't say get him out of the club is because you make the valid point. Nobody can play the way he plays. When he holds the ball up, gives our players a couple of seconds breather, holds the ball, what Rashford can't do. That's the only reason I don't get upset when he's picked in the team. But when I see him play like that, like he's got, like, I don't know what he's got, what is in his head. Like it's like he's somewhere on a different planet. It's almost like I call it spliff football. You know, when someone's stoned and then you're just not quite there, and things aren't coming off for them. So I don't know what that is. So that's why I can. And like I said, he's 27 years old, Nuruddin. 27. This is meant to be your peak. This is meant to be you're the baller. This is your time in your life. So the only reason, like I said, Rashford, no matter what he does, he had a bad year last year. Look at him now. But Martial had a bad year last year. Martial's got to dig deep and just do the basics. Like, show some strength. Hold off these guys. Push them back. I don't even see any anger or fire in his belly like I see with Rashford. In a way, the defense showed fight. Even Malacia tackles back. Fight. Initially scared of Torre, but then came back on him. I want to see fight from players. And Ten Hag and the backroom staff have to get these bottlers to be fighters. I don't care if we lose. And all these people say we've been negative about the win. You're talking about your backside. We want United to improve. We don't want you to say 1-0 and then we get battered because we're crap. And we didn't say we told you so. We want United to win, but we want United to win, but we want it to win with consideration and coaching, and strategy and good management, regardless of the poison that we're carrying in the transfer market and the club. And that's what Ten Hag is fighting. We all know we're fighting that, but I'm only talking. When I come on here, I know we're sick and tired of talking about Glazonomics, but I want Ten Hag to sort these guys out.
The reason why I'm mentioning it is because there's no options.
Oh, I know.
Let me just look at the bench today. The only attacking substitution we could have made was Rashford. That for Manchester United Football Club, that is this. I can't say.
Wait a second, already. No, but you say that. Yeah, but you say that.
Comes back and we get Felix Makoum. Yeah, well, you're top of the league, mate. 7 points clear. You can say whatever you want. Say me.
Yeah. No. I know what you say, but all I'm saying is, like, look.
We have to talk about them. We have to talk about them.
But look, mentally weak. We cannot get away. I don't know what Ten Hag can do with players that look mentally weak.
Well, we need to get rid of them. So you should have listened.
No, listen. Wait a minute.
Let me just make this point. Ralph Rangnick said this. Ralph Rangnick said 10 players, and people come out and Ralph Rangnick don't know what he's doing, and it's exactly that. Why do you think I coined the phrase 5 years ago? I said Man United players are bottle jobs. We are bottle jobs, and the bottle job mentality is still there. So that's the reason why I've got to talk about Glazonomics. And a manager has got to come and defend. It's embarrassing. He's got.
Okay, wait. Fair enough. But okay, so look. Let me just look at an example of what you just said, though. Shaw has been put into play left back, right? Look, just Shaw, right? You've seen how bad up and down this guy has been. But I watch him at left back. I mean, sorry, a left centre back. I'm looking at this guy thinking, I'm amazed how well he's played in that position. And he's the one that we could have said is a bottle job. But he seems to have dug deep. He seems to have had a good World Cup. He seems to have sorted himself out. The problem with this guy is inconsistent. But I don't think...
Let's just run money there. He's doing that because he's always... when he plays out of his skins, is when he's got to play for the new contract. But carry on.
So you think that's what that is?
Yeah, I've seen this movie before. And that's why I put the tweet out. When his phone picks up, I'm like, I see now. I've seen it before. That's
terrible, nerd. That's terrible.
His phone goes unbelievable. Unbelievable. He pulls it out. And then as soon as he gets that contract, down the gears again.
Mm.
Hang on a minute. Hang on.
You know-
Tom, are you still here? Is Tom still here?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Tom, wait a second. You come in on that point because I don't know what to make of that
Right,
one.
what's the
You saying that he's saying Shaw playing well because he's got a new contract coming up? Do you believe in that?
probably? I mean, it's hard to question, isn't it? At the end of the day, I think.
He's done it before. We've seen
Yeah,
it
he
before.
has done it before. But the only thing that I can say with Shaw is we've seen one good season out of 8, or however, it probably even been here longer than that. To be honest, you look at David De Gea, for example. I know he's a goalkeeper, but he's given you 4, 5, 6 good solid seasons out of maybe 10. That's consistency. Luke Shaw, one out of one wonder season that he had under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer out of about 6 or 7. That is not good value for money, even with what you paid for him. And in today's market, where the hell does he go? Southampton might take him back if they want. I don't bloody know. But in today's market, I don't hear anybody coming around, sniffing around Luke Shaw, wanting him or wanting to try and get him out of a deal or anything like that because Man United might sign him up on a new contract. Nobody's scared of that. Nobody's worried that he might sign a new contract. Clubs will be worried if Marcus Rashford signs a new contract, for example. That's something to be worried about because then you have a player who's in form, consistent, and the new manager has a long-term plan for. Exactly the same thing for Garnacho if you tie him down to a long-term deal. There's a plan and there's a project there for the long term. And Zayn Miassi made a good point. I know a couple of streams ago anyway, where he said that Arsenal have signed a lot of their young players and key players down to longer term contracts and deals, meaning that they have that stability in the squad where they know who's going to be playing in what positions for 3-4 years to come. That is what you call stability. Anthony Martial, who you don't know if he's going to be fit or if he needs to play for, a contract or whatever, the motives of these players are. I think a lot of the motives of these players have changed since the enforcements have been brought in. For example, I think the biggest enforcement was the Cristiano Ronaldo thing, because he didn't care, Eric Tenhag, that he was on 500 grand a week. He was one of the greatest players of all time. He didn't care. No, why? Because he's a coach that manages a team, not an individual. And he handled the whole situation brilliantly. And if, like we're saying here with Luke Shaw, with this, whatever it is, if he wants to play for a new contract, let him play for a fucking new contract. Because at the end of the day, if we get new ownership or whatever, they'll blow money away as if it's nothing. Whoever the new owner is, they'll shit money out because they have to get fans on side. And the way that every new owner, whenever they walk into a football club, to get fans on side is by doing what? Blowing loads of money. Chelsea are doing it now. They're looking at paying 120 million euros for one player who had one good World Cup and about 11 good games for Benfica, who nobody had heard of before the World Cup, in Enzo Fernandez. Is that what you call value in the market? Probably not. And to go back to the point that Ten Hag's obviously come out with, saying that there's no value in the market, basically coming out with there's no value in the market and all this, that, the other. All we know with that is it's just covering the ownership. Every manager has had to have the ownership that they have to cover. And that doesn't mean that they're whatever they want to be, a puppet who is controlled by the strings of the Glazers, because I don't think Ten Hag is that. I think he came into this job with the guarantees and the insurances of he was going to be financially backed in that first window. They let him down because they didn't get him Frankie de Jong. He's then had to go into this window with his main priority being Cody Gakpo. They've let him down once again. And then third and finally, you probably go into the summer window. There's no guarantee the Glazers are going to be here. Ten Hag's probably sitting there thinking, boy, if new owners come in, am I even going to have a job? Because some new owner might want to come in and Ten Hag might not be their boy. He was a Glazers manager. He was appointed by who? The Glazer family. Not Qatar, not Dubai, American investors. He was appointed by the Glazer family. But at the end of the day, if Luke Shaw wants to play for a new contract, let him play for a new contract. Who really cares at the end of the day? You've made good investments in players like Malacia, in players likes of Martinez, who can play that role as well if need be. You've got cover in that area. So if Luke Shaw wants to give you one good season, brilliant, that's fine. There is better players out there that you can utilise and that you can get in the market. And Ralph Rangnick said it here, probably this time last year. roughly about the time when he was appointed or when he was in major operation at Man United, Man United did about 10 new players. They need open heart surgery. And the reason why he said that was that was being nice. That was putting it nicely. Because the harsher way, if he could have put it, was they're all bottlers. None of them had spines in those final 10 games that season. None of them. But Tenhag's brought some key warriors in. Lisandro Martinez, for example. That's somebody who you want on your team. Whether you play Sunday League or you play World Elite, somebody who's going to put a tackler, put everything on the line for the sake of the team. Not people, and I'm not cussing out names, but not people who are going to show up for 4 or 5 games, think they've made it, and then suddenly they get a big contract like people say or whatever, and then the pressure weighs down on them. And that's probably one of the reasons why Jadon Sancho has not had the major success that he's had at the moment in time. Came in for big money, came in on big wages, big expectation of a young player, and not delivered. But ultimately, the facts are there, and we have to stick with the future. But if I don't even care who it is, to be honest with you, because there's many names out there that Ralph Rangnick even put out. Diaz, he put Alvarez, he put Vlahovic, he put 3 strikers who you could have got for about 30, 50 million this time last year, and you wouldn't be in this situation that you're in where you don't have a striker right now if Martial gets injured. But you didn't listen to him. You did not listen to him at all. And ultimately, what position are we in? Is Martial or bust? And Martial's got, I can't remember who put the comment in the chat. He's got about 4 goals this season. Brilliant. 4 goals is going to get you top 4. Not a hope in hell's chance.
Are we talking? The thing is with what Kim is saying, boys, is obviously I'm accused of rose-tinted glasses. Sometimes, yeah. Today, it can go 2 ways. A lot of people watched that game, thought, wow, this is a hard-fought game. Hopefully it'd be great to get out of it with 3 points. We weren't at our best, but it's a big 3 points, so we should be buzzing, considering we don't have a striker. The 2 players tonight were really poor. We didn't play well. It's very good to go away to a game where it is a bogey team. It can be difficult and, get that 3 points. So you can see it that way, or you can focus on, this is what we haven't got. This is what we need. This guy's shocking. That guy's shocking. Whichever way you go will obviously be different to how others perceived it. So you can look at things in a positive light, or you can really put a downer on it. We're here talking about a reality that we're a little bit thin on the ground up top. We are.
Listen, I don't know about that. I don't. At the end of the day, we judge the games different. Listen, Wolves are a bogey team, but they're bottom of the league for a reason. They're down there for a reason, right?
You just said a minute ago, Dino.
No, I understand that.
Doesn't matter where they are.
And I understand what I said, but what I'm saying to you, Manchester United have they got ambitions to be in the top 4 and to fight for trophies?
No.
Struggling and making hard work of Wolverhampton, it's not a thing. And that's why you guys, when you were getting all giddy, we're playing this, we're doing this, I was telling you yesterday to calm down. I was telling you all yesterday.
No. Let
me answer it.
Get a super chat.
Let me answer.
Eddie's better than Rashford. Watch Arteta work his magic. Well, Arteta is definitely working his magic.
I think, do you know what? Let me answer.
Listen, Arteta is at a club where the board, the director of football, everybody's behind the manager.
In sync.
Behind the manager.
Let me answer. Zayn, I think Eddie Nketiah, time will tell, but I think he's doing really, really well. He doesn't look out of place, and this is an opportunity, and he's really taking it. He has that instinct. If you look at the goal he scored today, they sniff these players. They're hungry, constantly chasing those opportunities. A good striker should be getting a few of those easy tapping goals, just following up the play. That's not really Martial's game, guys. It's not really his game. It's not personal. I personally, I know in the comments people are saying, like, Luke Shaw is somebody I've always thought is a very good player. But Martial, I've always thought, is not for me. I don't really rate this player. He's for me somebody that just I don't see it. I don't see it. I'm not sure what he is. I don't think he brings enough to the party. I don't think his work rate has ever been there for me. But Luke Shaw is somebody I've always had faith will come good. In terms of the contract stuff that we're talking about,
but you know what, Bombay? Listen, that's a massive contradictory because Luke Shaw, other than we gave him a year and a half, at least 2 years to recover from that horrendous broken ankle where his ankle is literally hanging off, his leg was literally hanging off, right?
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, you are a hypocrite and you got double standards out there because if Luke Shaw was performing, if Luke Shaw was Martial, you'd be like getting rid. And a lot of Man United fans have said to get rid of him. And the only time when he comes good is where an international tournament is coming up, or he's got to play for a new contract after the first year. Because you saw him in the first year, you fell in love with a player, but now you can't allow your brain to be critical about his other 8 years that he's been at Man United, which has been dog shite, other than a season here and 6 months there. So actually, there's two players where they have the most parallel careers at Man Luke Shaw and Martial.
Let me answer you. Let me answer that.
Players who have had the same parallel, but one,
I get it.
He's Luke Shaw, and everybody thinks, oh, he's still young and all of that. The other one, everybody comes out and hates Martial. That's a fact.
Okay, let me answer you then. I think sometimes you see a player and you think, you know what, I like this player. I like the qualities that he has. I rate him. And Luke Shaw is that with me. I thought Luke Shaw, when we bought him, was the most important player along with Rooney for Van Gaal. And when he got injured, I thought that's the end of the season. And Luke Shaw is somebody I looked at and thought, I think this player is a mint player. For me, Martial, how long have I been telling you, even when he's doing good, I just don't rate this player. He's not for me. He's not for Man United. He's not what we want. I just don't rate him as a player. So it's not about how long he's been injured and the parallels. One player, as a person looking at a player, think, yeah, this is a good player. He will come good. We will stick with him. But the other player, I just think, Tom's made a decent case. Anthony Martial at the minute went to Sevilla, to Sevilla, nothing. He's back here. He's injured all the time. When he plays, he blows hot, he blows cold. I'm not sure he's ever been a striker. I've always maintained he's just not the answer. People always refer to hold-up play. I need somebody that lives goals and breathes goals. He's not that guy. Eddie Nketiah's got more of a goal predatorship than Anthony Martial, in my opinion. Not saying he's a better player, but occupying central space, he's not the answer for me. And if you put him on the left, he doesn't have the work rate of a Rashford for me. He just does not. So I just don't rate him. He's not for me. And it's not about double standards. I don't rate this player. That's just the way I see it. Contract-wise, end of the day, Luke Shaw and many other players all of a sudden are consistently playing very well under a new regime, a new coach. There's been a lot of instability previously. A lot of players are coming good. You know what I mean? People are talking after 2 games. They've got a little bit of time for a player they wanted, like gone. His future's finished. That's Wan-Bissaka. Varane all of a sudden looks like a player every week that is, hey, this is what we thought we'd signed. Luke Shaw is another one. Rashford is resurgent. So there's a lot of good things happening at Man United now that we've got some stability, a guy that's come in with some standards, some rules, some regulations, a good way of playing, a positive way of playing. We've always had a problem. We remember how much excuses we used to make for a lot of players. It's the system, it's the manager, they don't coach. Well, now we've got one that everybody seems to like. Players are flourishing.
And that's
Players are flourishing. So I don't know. I'm not saying it's not. Of course, when you're up for a new contract and anything, you want to work harder. But I see it across the board that the team looks good. A lot of players that we thought were dead are back. They're playing really well. And it's, this is thanks to the manager. So it could be a combination of both. It could be either or. But that's my take on things, and today's a good day, man.
But I'm gonna second Nuruddin. Well, wait. Well, I'm not. I personally don't dislike Martial. I'm just saying today is when we needed him to step up. Yeah, all right. I'm just saying. Well, yeah. Well, I'm saying. Well, just about him. This is essentially today's analysis about. We're getting to the sort of conclusion whereby can Ten Hag do something with these players that Ollie couldn't? That's essentially what this season is. You know, and obviously, you know, we keep talking about Glazonomics and the fact that we're run like jokers. We've got no money, we've got nothing, but we have got one thing, and that is an elite level manager. Now, can he turn it around? Can he get these players that drive us crazy? Because when you think about the fact that Luke Shaw's had probably 2 good seasons in 8 or 9 or 10, whatever it is, that's not good enough. Martial's had how many good seasons since he's been United? How many he's had?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, yeah.
So,
just hang on a second, Tom, before you jump finger, just say, I wanted to reiterate the fact that we're asking.
To me personally, Martial has had more good season than Luke Shaw, 100%.
Yeah, but Nuruddin, I repeat,
he's had more good seasons.
I repeat, Nuruddin.
Ollie, when Jose came, he kept getting benched, and he dropped him for Sanchez. And he was the guy that was bailing him out week in, week out.
Yeah, but Nuruddin, I get you, but I'm just saying, before Tom comes in, I'm just saying, we're asking our fans to say, can Ten Hag do what these other guys couldn't do? That's the question we're asking. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, The only thing I'm going to say with that, though, is I think, like I've reiterated, I think games like today, under previous manager, I think we would have buckled. I'm not going to lie. I don't see the Jose tactics the Jose tactics would not have put us in the position that they would have. The Van Gaal tactics were explosive in the attacking area, but defensively it left us short. You then go to the Ollie tactics where there weren't any fucking tactics. It was go out there, vibes, live it up. And where would that have got us? Probably nowhere again. Whenever we played Wolverhampton under Ollie, they were our bogey team. They always found a way to beat us or embarrass us. Ultimately, you then go to Ten Hag now. He's doing his best with no money, no guarantee of any financial backing this window, or potentially even in the summer, the longer this takeover, whatever investment, carries on or breaks. But the only thing that we can say about this debate with Shaw, Martial, and all this, that, the other is, I look at it from the projection of Ten Hag needed 3 years with his squad. After 3 years, you can pass judgment on him, on his coaching ability and his management of the Manchester United squad and the team. He needs 3 years and he needs 3 good years of investment in this team. And he completely needed to rip this team apart. Ultimately, unfortunately, you're going to have to ruin some fans' lives in terms of get rid of their favourite players. Martial's a lot of people's favourite player. Harry Maguire is a lot of people's favourite defender at Manchester United.
I don't know about that, bro.
No, he is. Trust me, he is.
No, as a cult hero because of the English background.
I hear him all the time. Tom, you're right. You're right.
At the end of the day, you're going to have to break people's hearts because these people are not European elite level. They are mid-table Premier League. Let me ask you this, Tom. At the end of the day,
how many players, boys? I mean, Eric Ten Hag has spent a fair whack. And I know,
yeah, but that's not his fault.
I don't think he spent
the Anthony deal. That's half price in June if they'd have done it.
Yeah. Okay. But hang on.
Let Bumbaye go.
No, I'm going to bring this fact in. Manchester United overspent in the summer by 77 million. That's not me saying it. That's a Swiss firm based in Switzerland that looks into football transfers, that looks at how much the club spent, how much the players worth. Right, we overspent 20 million on Lisandro Martinez. We overspent 35 million on Anthony. We overspent 15 million almost on Casemiro. Yeah. That's what we spent. Man United. Let me finish. The only player that we bought him, I think altogether the package like 16, 17 million. Malacia.
Yeah, but no, that's what I'm saying. But what you're saying, it's not our fault. It's not Ten Hag's fault that they can't do like a Kanji type deals where you pay 20-odd million or something and you get a serious player. Yeah. It's not our fault United can't do that, is it? It's not our fault. It's not Ten Hag's fault, is it?
No, it's not. It's not Ten Hag's fault. But boys, look, it's not Ten Hag's fault. Yeah, I understand that we've not We've not. Anthony's never worth 85 million. He's worth top
course he's
whack,
not.
considering like what he's done
50.
and how they rated him.
45,
50,
40,
yeah.
50. I say
No,
40.
let's, bro. He's worth, honestly, he is worth about 50 million. You know what I mean? 40 is too cheap, I'd say, for Anthony. 50 million. I'd even go 60 for the rep, what he's done and all that shit. Not 85. Casemiro, 70 million, I think, is a bit too much, man. He's been a phenomenal addition to our team. He's made a massive improvement, a big difference. And I'd like to see what we look like without him. In you know,
I
going
wouldn't.
forward.
I'm telling you, I would not in that midfield.
I get you, but you know what? It just shows like the what you can do when you have a player. But how many players do we actually need in this team? Because Tenhag has brought in a centre back that's been really good. He's brought in one of the best defensive midfielders in the world in Casemiro that's made a major impact. And please stop me if anyone disagrees. Anthony, he really wanted him. So we went and got him. That's still his player. Forget the price a minute. He wanted him. We got it for him. And we paid mad money, right? Which is our fault, but we got it for him. We had Ronaldo as a backup and we have Sancho. It's out of, you know, this happens. Ronnie's gone. Sancho is, you know, not really here. He's absent. We need to get him back in. How many players do we still need in this team? And if you look at who we're competing with, like teams around us, how many, like, if you do a comparison teams, who gets into our team?
Well, if we...
wait a second. Hang on a second, Nuruddin. I'll throw it to Nuruddin in a second from Tom's point, and you can come back in, Tom. Related to what he just said, it goes. The question, you know, that sort of, you know, my brain's begging me to ask is Ten Hag overachieving, underachieving, or on par with what he's doing at the moment? That's the question. I'll let Tom or you. I'll let Tom or Nuruddin can answer that question.
Nuruddin, go on, and then I'll ask one by his question.
Big up Snake Eyes, big up Nuruddin. Love your passion. Happy New Year, bro. Happy New Year to you, bro. Happy New Year to everyone, by the way. Been following you, watching you for a while. I'm a Red fan, but I love your content working. But I'll tune in. Yeah, big up, bro. Big up, love. I say it's simple. For me, at this moment in time, with this bunch of bottlers, he's overachieving.
Yes.
So to me, Ralph Rangnick explained it. He said, "You need open heart surgery at this football club. Open heart surgery." He explained it in more than 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 press conferences. Exactly what needed to be done here, right?
Yeah.
So to me, if Man United were, for me, a proper football club, 5 players in the summer, 3 players in January, another 3 players in the summer. That's what would have been, and then we would have been like Ten Hag. You know what? Work with these players.
There's problems though.
What players do we need? What players do we need? Man United need a centre half. Man United need a right back. Man United need a centre two midfield players because I don't think Eriksen's good enough. And I think Man United need a striker. 100%, at least 2 strikers. That's what Man United need, in my opinion.
There's a problem. There's a problem though. Even with the players that we've brought in the last two years or whatever. Varane's 28, 29. He's not going to give you 5 years of solid world classness. That's the player that you need to replace. Right. Let's go through the positions that we already need right now. Striker, right back, and probably 2 major priorities that spring to mind for a lot of people. Maybe another midfielder because of the squad depth issue. Who do you bring off the bench? There's 3 players that you need to bring in already. Casemiro's 30. He might, and it's a very, very slight might, give you 2 or 3 years of world-classness left. But that's guaranteed on the basis of injuries, and if he still can compete at the highest level with the age that he will age to in that time. You've then got Varane. That's 5 positions there. There's exact same problems as Casemiro. The age and also the injury record that he possesses. And like we always make the same point, Real Madrid and Barcelona, they do not let any players leave, and Bayern Munich in that regard, they do not let you leave unless you have a major problem in the future, potentially injury-wise, or unless you have anything left to give to them. Those clubs have done the smart things in what they've done. They've either tied their young players down to long-term deals, like Pedri and Gavi Barcelona, like at Barcelona, like at Bayern, Musiala, for example, and like at Real Madrid, they brought in Tchouaméni and Camavinga. Manchester United had the opportunity last January to get 3 players from the South American section and market for £38 million. And Ralph Rangnick put these 3 players to the board. They were Enzo Fernandez, who's just won a brilliant World Cup and was the best young player at the World Cup. Julian Alvarez, another World Cup winner, ironically enough. And Moses Caicedo, the player who has always blown our midfield out of the water whenever we played Brighton. For £38 million, you've got 2 midfielders and you've got that striker that you needed. So if we would have followed the guidance of the godfather of the German football and probably one of the best sporting directors out there in the world, you've got 3 players for £38 million. You'd be sitting here now with 3 World Cup winners if you'd have still bought Lisandro Martinez in your team. On top of already having the quality of Casemiro, Varane, and then the only thing that you would have left to do is probably buy a right back to cover for Delos's arse. And then if you want to replace De Gea. But after that, what is there left to do? The team's built. Everything has been built for you.
Tom, I'm surprised. You know when you said that, Tom, about those 3 players, I'm surprised United fans don't cry when they hear what you just said. I mean, it beggars belief.
2 World Cup winners for 38 million.
Listen,
It's
no.
unbelievable.
I personally think we could have got them for cheaper. I think we could have got them for cheaper. I personally think that. I think we could have wrapped them up for 30 million. 3 players.
Yeah, but there's the Man United tax, isn't there? That's the only thing. But
No,
the South American market is so brilliant in the last 5-6 years.
Listen, I think Ralph Rangnick would have wrapped them up. If we allowed him, he would have wrapped them up in 30 million. It would have been like Ralph Rangnick's connections and his scouting network.
Well, that's what I mean. So why did we not keep this guy on, man? He had all the contacts of South America. You see, in the last 6 to 7 years, brilliant young players that come through that system and that countries, and you don't get any progression with the club at all.
Tom, wait a second. I'll use an example. Do you think governments keep on whistleblowers that work for their company? Do you think companies ever do that?
Well, no. But at the end of the day, with Ralph Rangnick, he said all that needed to be said. And ultimately, when you come out and you say about you need 10 new players, you need open heart surgery, that's being nice. He could have easily come out. He had nothing left to lose in those final games. He knew he wasn't going to stay on and be a director after that point. The connection with Murto was already cut off. The connection with Fletcher cut off.
Yeah.
And all he was doing was covering for the club's ass for the final games of the season until they negotiated with Pochettino or Tenhag on who they actually wanted. That's all he was doing. And ultimately, at the end of the day, he paid the ultimate price for it, didn't he? And he didn't get to stay on in this director's consultancy, whatever the hell he was going to do. But do you know what I would love? And I honestly say, and I seriously mean this, I would love if a new ownership came in and they brought him back as director of football. Oh my God, I would love that. Absolutely love it. Because these little picky pocket deals that you do, and like I say, in any fan base, and like Irfan just commented on there, you have 2 World Cup winners for potentially 30 million if Nuruddin wanted to knock it down to that. 30 million for 2 World Cup winners who are between 20 and 23. And you look at the price that you would have to pay for either of those 2 players right now. The full package, look at that, £130 million. And you could have paid 30 and you could have got 3 players for 30 million. And it just blows my mind away, honestly. At the bad and poor recruitment of this team.
Can I just say?
Let me just set this in. He says Rashford has played 2 years with really bad injuries. I don't understand why folks dismiss that the reason they're consistent. 100%. And you can sell Martial. That's why I'm giving a little bit leeway to Martial, because he suffered the same. And he came out and spoke about it, where he was playing when he was injured, because Oli believed in this robustness, which was absolute trash, because he thought it was 90s games, not a 90s game. So, but the biggest thing for me, and I want to just cut it because we're going on for far too long, guys, but at the end of the day, 5 wins in a row. We've won, but I'm telling you, I still see bottle job tendencies everywhere.
Do you know the bottle job tendencies?
I see it everywhere. And the only way to solve it is through transfers. The only way to solve it is through, because players need to be moved on. I don't have any favorite players anymore. To be the biggest thing, I give Rashford a lot of credence, because I know that to play for Man United when you've got broken bones in your back says a lot for me. Right? You guys put the boot on because your ankle is swollen up to this size, and people have to help you to put the boot on, and then you've got shoulder injuries. You're carrying 3 serious injuries and still getting out there and wanting to play for Man United. So for me, anybody who does that gets a lot from me. I will always be like that.
Eric Ten Hag. I think that Eric Ten Hag, man, is doing a good job. I think the mentality is part of the remit of rebuilding this team, and that's something that takes some time. And I believe that these types of results have not gone away for good, but they've certainly turned potential bad results into good results, irrespective of how they've played. And I think the resilience of the team and the resolve of the team is there, especially defensively. There's a lot of good things happening. I believe that this team right now, all it needs to the end of the season to be on par with everything around us, barring Man City, is just another striker and Jadon Sancho back. That's all I think we need. I think it's, Eric Ten Hag, for me, I've said this in previous posts when Martin Lindo was here as well, that Eric Ten Hag does not get a pass. He does not get 3 years. Nobody gets that. Eric Ten Hag, I'm starting to judge it now. The only reason Eric Ten Hag is getting my backing and I'm patient and I take these results is because I understand that there is a process. That process is going to have some issues, and he's not been here long, but while he has been here, players, manager alike are doing well. Our team is comparable to quite a few teams around us. If you look at the Spurs squad, they were 4th today. Is Antonio Conte overachieving with the squad that he's got? How many of their team get into our team? I'd say 2 players, Harry Kane and Son. The rest don't get in. Nobody gets in. I don't know if you want to make an argument there. Newcastle, you look at their team, Eddie Howe's doing amazing with them. How many of their players get into our starting? So I think that we have to understand this is transfers and stuff like that. It's not easy. And I think where you're asking, I think you're asking for a bit too much. They don't have a billion support worldwide.
They don't have a billion support. They're not a commodity. They're not a brand like we are.
No, bro, it doesn't matter to me that. I'm talking about the resources you've got to work with.
I'll answer your question. They don't have Europa League distractions. They rest other than the FA Cup now starting, and then the League Cup. They rest.
Tottenham are in the Champions League.
No, listen. It's better than playing Wednesday, Saturday, than playing.
Nah, bro, you're splitting hairs now. Look at the team they've got, and they were 4th.
And playing Thursday, Sunday. The majority of teams in the Champions League are in place where you can reach, not 6-7 hours away or 5 hours away. So there's a big difference. Eddie Howe is a fantastic coach. I've been on about this guy for a long time, where when I was saying it on the fan cams, United fans were laughing at me. Who's laughing?
Are they overachieving?
Oh, no, he's doing amazing.
No, I know what you're saying there, but let's just wait. Can we just wait for the end of the season to really analyse Eddie Howe? Can we wait? Yeah? I know what you're saying. You're right at the moment. Let's just see.
What he's doing now. They're doing.
No, we've got Eric Ten Hag has got a good group of players there. There's a lot of quality there.
Quality
of bottle jobs who failed on the previous.
This manager has to instill that mentality. You're gonna get these days, but they're not bottle jobs. Man United against Liverpool, against Arsenal, against Chelsea today. They're standing. No, they're not, bro. They're standing up. But you are going to have sometimes a day like this where we expect to go in bouncing, but unfortunately have a bit of a setback. But this ain't really a setback. You got 3 points in a difficult fixture. What turned out to be a tough game.
Smash and grab, man. We smashed and grabbed it.
I wouldn't say.
It
turned into smashing.
We don't finish their chances. We do not finish their chances. And we
didn't finish ours.
To make 2 or 3 chances in a game.
Bro, we didn't finish ours.
We don't. I'm telling you, I'm trying to explain to you, Man United, I said it to you last night. For the amount of chances we make, we don't take them. So you already know this team don't make. Have you seen the amount of goals we've scored compared to everybody we're competing with for the top 4? It's despicable. We don't score goals. So don't tell me about missed chances because we don't. They don't score goals. We don't.
It's not smash and grab today.
What I'm trying to make to you is that other than a piece of magic by Rashford, that game was going for a 0-0. It was, and everybody knows it. Everybody knows it.
No, I can just say Ten Hag deserves credit for obviously the discipline thing with Rashford. Then obviously bring him at half time and then putting Fred on for Ericsson. That's what won us the game today. Those changes what won us the game. So respect to Eric, but these players, like I said, a game like today puts us on the back foot where we lose belief again. I'm not like I wasn't giddy because we beat Forest. I just thought we were in a good room. Because what's our form now? Is it 1 loss in 15 games? What is it? Tell me someone.
14 games. But listen,
Listen.
At the end of the day, we played a lot of teams Man United should beat. And the last
But
time,
it's still a sign of good form, already. It's still a sign of good form.
Let me finish. It's only 3 games ago. 3 games ago now that Villa smashed us. So that's the point I was trying to focus your minds to yesterday. But you all were telling me, we're playing this.
Do you know what,
no, we're not.
bro?
Every game.
Bro, but
let me say something to you now. You know what? I will be the person who will scream it from the rooftops and I'll tell everybody and their nan when I believe Man United are back. I will be telling everybody.
Is this a statement?
You know what Scholes said today? You could see Liverpool coming 2 years before they won anything, before they challenged Liverpool. You could see City doing something almost 2.5 years ago before they came. Man United, I don't see it because we've got too many fucking bottle jobs in the team.
Bro, do you think...
I'm a realist. That's what I am.
All right, look, is this a fair statement? Manchester United are on a positive trajectory. This manager is taking us places. We are getting better. Is that a fair statement, or do you think we're not getting better? Because that's the whole premise of this discussion. If we're not getting better, then why are we wasting our time with this manager?
Listen, I've said it, and the reason why I wanted this manager, because I said under the Glazer ownership, I don't see Man United challenging for a league title. I don't see Man United going to Champions League consistently. I don't see Man United challenging for a league. But at least we'll play better football. So yes, to answer your question, Erik ten Hag is expected what I expect to do with the players that we have and the players that he's bought in, right? He's had 1 window, and now the second window he's been denied because of the fucking Glazers who own this football club. And
well, look, we've got
back to them. So the point what I'm trying to say to you, what I predicted is right. We're playing better football, but we're not scoring goals because he doesn't have attacking options off the bench. Ronaldo's a 30-year-old that has been and now signed for the Saudi Arabian team, which is hilarious, where people, the Ronaldo stands, were all telling me, everybody's coming in for him. Who's coming in for him? Al Nassr, mate. In what league? In what standard? Give me a flipping. Oh, my God. It's embarrassing. So the point I put to you now, Man United need attacking options off the bench. If any of you seen the fixtures that we've got, we're playing it's almost every 2.5 days or 3 days we're playing throughout January. I think we've only got a week, in between City and Arsenal. That's the only week that we have. We're not playing any games for about 6 days, right? So the point I'm trying to say to you is that the point I want people to focus on is that we need options. We need attacking options so to be able to come off the bench. I did not want Benjamin Sesko. Sorry, I did not want Gakpo. I wanted Benjamin Sesko. And Man United can go and do that. And to me, I know that no footballing people with footballing brains are buying Man United. Because if you're negotiating to buy a club, and if these dickheads are selling, right, that person would say to them, you know what? We'll take 100, the Glazers will take 100 million off the sale, give us to go and get the 2 players that we need for this January. But we don't. We move like slugs. That's what we do.
Bro,
Liverpool,
look,
they seen Jota, listen to me. They seen Jota and they saw Diaz, both of them long-term injuries. They seen that. What did they do? Bam, go and get Gakpo. Right, Gakpo, we've got too many people playing on that side. His best position.
You've got till the 30. You've got 30 days yet.
No, we need him now. We need his player now. We don't need a player. He should be signed on the 1st of January, tomorrow. Man United should have a striker. We've known for 7 months. 7 months Man United have known that Ronaldo wanted to leave. 7 months. We've known it since at the end of May.
Nerdy, we got no money, Nerdy, we got no money.
I don't know if we're going to get somebody or not yet. But Erik ten Hag, going back to the original point, has got a strong side that is comparable to most of the teams that we're competing with for top 4. And that is why I expect the expectation that achievement this year would be top 4 and any one trophy. I think we have the team.
I predicted.
Well, it's difficult. It's difficult. It's difficult.
Do this.
Oh,
I knew
come
the
on, man.
Glazers will do this.
You can't keep filibustering, man. You gotta let people speak. Come on, bro. This is a podcast. You gotta let people speak.
I'm telling you, and you. No, you're not listening to me. I said whether Ronaldo stays or not.
You don't listen to nobody, do you know, man?
Man United needed a striker. I said that. I kept repeating it.
I understand what you know what everybody understands that we need a striker, but you need to understand.
People are not listening. What I'm saying. My analysis on this point on the Glazers is 100%. I am not fucking wrong about it any bit. I said it in the summer, in January. They've been coming out and have been posting on Twitter and talking about it on here. Glazers saying, "Oh, no value in the market," and him coming out now. There's no value in the market. I'm just sick of this shit. I'm sick of it.
But no, it's not going away. It's not going away yet. That is not going away.
Look, you just need to curb your emotions a minute, man.
I'm not curbing no emotions. Listen,
right?
It's my opinion.
Look, fine. I get it, but
it's 17 years of fucking frustrations. That's what it is.
We've got a team that is a comparable team to those around us. We should be competing for top 4. I have a right to have some sort of expectation. I am on board with this manager because we are playing well. We are going places with this manager. We need to get Sancho back. That's a big thing. That will give us more attacking options to change a game. And we need one more player striker-wise. Whatever we're going to get, if it's going to be a big signing long-term, I don't think so. I said it on previous podcasts. I don't think we're going to sign. Some of you thought, no, I think we can get somebody because it's a World Cup year. But you can get somebody on loan. Whatever it is, we need to get to the end of the season, get top 4, keep improving. From there, man, we take stock. It's not all doom and gloom and Erik Tenhag is working miracles. Erik Tenhag, man, has got some very, very good players in there. And changing the mentality of a team that has not won anything for a long time, making them believe that we can get results, we can compete, is what he is starting to do. We have beat some very, very good teams around us, and the ones that we didn't beat, we gave as good as we got. Previously, this is a part where been very aggrieved, Glazers aside, is that the football has been very bad to watch. The inconsistency has been terrible. Being able to actually be resilient and go and play for a result and get a result when it's going difficult. Playing when you've not got a full team and still getting a result is what we've done for the last 2 games. There are many good things happening. We have a good team. I don't think, realistically, I never expected to be getting much more than what we got and who we got in this transfer market. It's unrealistic for me to think we're going to get 5, 6, 7, 8 players. What Ralph Rangnick says, open heart surgery, we need 10 new players. Okay, fine. 10 new players maybe takes a year and a half to get 10 new players. You got to understand it's not just bringing players in. No, try and get rid. Listen, no. Hang on. One second. Try and get rid. Try and get rid of Phil Jones, of Harry Maguire, of Anthony Martial on the wages and the length of contracts that they still have remaining is hard. Is difficult.
Other clubs do it. They buy them out and say, see you later.
Erik Tenhag, unfortunately, has taken over at a time that there's a big mess to clean up. So you got to understand, man, there is context to these things. It's not just, I want this.
Nerdy, wait a second. We didn't need to go here. We didn't, nerdy.
Sanchez was on a long-term contract at Man United, and he was getting paid a lot of money. Man United, by sending him alone and buying his contract out. That's what you need to do with these players.
But Nerdy, we didn't need to go here.
We can't just be throwing money out like that, man. You can't just be doing that.
We're waffling for an hour and a half now.
Honestly, we've been ranting for the last 15 minutes. We need to just rein it in a little bit. I understand this is the frustration of a smash and grab of a win like today has come out, but we didn't need to go here. We know what the problems are. Everyone knows we've got problems.
It's what's come out is people not understanding how Glazonomics works.
No, they do understand, Nerdy. They do. They understand.
No, they don't, F. I know they don't. Because Boumbaye, he's heard me, he's been on the show, and I've been telling him all summer that Man United need another striker, whether Ronaldo stayed or not. I knew Ronaldo.
I think he agrees with you. I think he agrees with you.
I don't think Ronaldo's the same player. Man United needed to sign a striker. We got on the free. We got Malacia. That's all. 15 mil. That's almost a free. That's free.
Yeah.
That was Ronaldo's wages. That's almost a free transfer. That is. We've signed 3 players. 3 players.
Yeah, but no, okay, okay. But there are massive background. That's the cloud over our head. We get that. You said it 1,000 times on the podcast before, so we get that. We need to just take grip, get back to the fact that we still got major problems in the background. Tenhag's got hands behind his back, but he got us out of jail today with his substitutions and he gained management for the team as well. So let's just say that you already said he's overachieving, so we'll take that. But like everyone in the chat said, we got major issues. We all disagree about little things like Martial. I mean, Wendy Grant thinks I got in for Rashford. I don't. I want this guy to succeed more than any other player because what he did for the kids. I want him to succeed. But what he did last year was a bit of sort of brainless football running into dead walls. I want him to be a more sophisticated player. That's all I want, Wendy. Nothing else. I got no issue with Rashford. Of course, as a Mancunian, I want him to succeed. But we can't let our frustrations make us almost argue with each other. We had a difficult game today, and as Nuruddin pointed out, because of the wretched, poisonous owners, they keep coming back to the same thing over and over again. So hopefully we can get it together. We can get together. Oh, we are happy that we won, no matter how much arguing and negativity seems. I'm super happy. We're all happy we won today, but we just hope we can wing it to get in the top 4 and then start again. That's all I want, is to try and get us in the top 4. That's all I hope. And like I said, you said we are achieving better under Ten Hag. Let's just hope it gets better and the team gets better. Let's hope so.
Yeah, listen, apologies for those I'm shouting. I'm just frustrated. It's frustration speaking.
Everybody knows Nerdy is frustrating. People can see that.
Man United need a striker. Man United need a striker. And some of you are telling me you're noticing Martial's backing out of challenges because he doesn't want to get injured again. Because he's the only striker. And that's why he's one of the most, he's one of the guys who's been left in the games a lot. He's the guy that's been coming off a lot. And Eric Ten Hag has tried to wrap him up in cotton wool because he's the only guy that who can actually hold the ball up for us, even though he was dreadful today.
Spot on. This is why I don't mind when you see him on a team list cheat Nerdy. That's why, because I know he's the only guy that can give us that 1 second, 2 seconds, hold it, touch, bang, and look either side. That's what I have him. But beyond that, Nerdy, we need more beyond that. I know why he's there to do the hold up play, but we need a bit more than that, Nerdy. That's all I'm saying. That's my frustration with him today.
Listen,
you want to do player ratings?
Nah, you know what? To me, the player ratings go from
no, let's just finish off because we should do the player ratings before we go. Let's just do it, and then let everyone else in the chat room as well say, give us your player ratings. Let's start with De Gea. Go on, Nerdy, go on.
De Gea at 7 didn't have anything to do, but he made 2 crucial saves.
Yeah, I give him a 6.5. He didn't have anything to do, but they were good saves. That was two good. Actually, I give him 7.
Yeah,
they were 2 good.
7.
The header was good header saves.
Wan-Bissaka for me 6.5.
No, I'm giving him a 7 too, Nuruddin. I thought it was solid.
Okay.
Solid.
6.5 I'll give him. Go on, Bombay. What are you giving him?
And you lot in the chat room, give us your scores for what we're saying as well. Come on. So what do you say?
We'll go with it. We'll go with a go with a 7 for.
What do you say?
I'll go with a 7 for Wan-Bissaka.
He was good today. He was good. Come on.
For me 8.5 or 8.
I give him an 8.
Yeah,
ran at 8 solid.
Really
fast,
good, really
fast.
good.
Always good positional awareness, fast, and making sure that what's the guy called? What's the guy called? Their striker, the old guy who plays them now.
Costa.
Costa, yeah, he could took rid. I mean, that wasn't hard, but he took rid of him. Great positional awareness. So I definitely give him an 8 today.
Okay.
Sure.
For me, I give him 7.5.
7.5 for sure as well. Solid.
Yeah.
He didn't play as well as Varane, but still played solid.
Yeah,
go with that.
Okay, Malacia.
Malacia, I thought he started off really badly. He was giving the ball away right, left, and centre, and in dangerous positions. I'm going to give him a 6.5.
6.5, definitely 6.5. Better than average, but not really good.
He got better in the second half.
Second half was definitely better. It was, yeah.
Yeah, and Casemiro, I'm going to give him a 7.5.
Yeah, 7.5. That's fair. That's a pretty good score. That's above average. Yeah, he was a 7.5. Yeah. I was between him and Varane, my favourite players today. Yeah. Casemiro gets a 9. Wow. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Well, some people.
Okay, so Eriksen?
Eriksen, I'm going to give him 5.6. I didn't think he was that good today. I actually think Fred, when he came, and looked better.
He looked much better. He did. He looked fatigued, didn't he? Eriksen. Eriksen wasn't sharp today, was he?
5.6 for me. It's an average. 6.
I give him just on the average. So I give him a 5.5. Eriksen. What are you saying, Bombay?
Yeah.
I'll give him a 6.
Give me 6. Okay. And then
so I guess we go with you there, right? You're the middle ground.
No, Bruno. Want Bruno next. Bruno.
Listen, in the first half, Garnacho. I thought Garnacho
We're
was our
on Bruno, right?
Bruno.
We're
I'm
on
giving
Bruno.
6.5. I thought it was horrendous today, but he made
Bruno
it.
6. Very average game to me today. Very average game. What do you say?
6.5.
I thought Garnacho.
Hang on. What do you say, Bombay? What do you say, Bruno?
I'll go with 6.5, bro.
You think he played 6.5? That's better than average.
He set up the goal.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Garnacho.
Garnacho for me was our best player in the first half, so he gets a 7 from me because he was the only threat in the game attacking wise. He was the only threat. So
He's the only one that's prepared to run at a guy and run past him. He does what Anthony doesn't do. So I'll give him a 7 easily. I'll definitely give him a 7.
I'll give him a
7.5.
Anthony, I'm giving him a 5. Anthony gets a 5 from me.
5.5, just under average.
For me, I thought it was a 5.
I'll give him a 6, man.
No, it was 5.
Average.
Today. It was 5.
Come on, man. He wasn't good today. 5. It's got to be 5. 5.5 is being generous.
And then Rashford for me.
Hang on. Anthony, then Rashford. Anthony.
No, that's what I said. Anthony. That's what I said.
Anthony gets Anthony 5.5, just below average.
He gets a 5 for me. He gets a 5.
The only thing I remember when he got that interception in the second half, he only stood in.
Yeah, Martial gets a 4 from me, and that's the lowest I've given play. I think that's one of the lowest. 4. He gets a 4 from me.
So I'm giving Anthony a 5.5 for his tracking back, but forward play not happening. Yeah,
I'm giving him a 5.
I'll give Martial a 5, man.
No, I'm
Martial
giving him
a 5. No, wait, we're on Anthony. We're on Anthony.
No, Anthony. I told you 5. I'm getting.
Anthony. I'll go with a 6, man.
No, I thought it was dreadful. 5 he gets from me personally.
All right, Rashford.
For me, I'm giving Rashford the man of the match because at the end of the day, without him, we didn't get the 3 points. So I get Rashford.
I give Rashford an 8. Yeah, I give Rashford an 8.
No, he gets a 9 from me because he got the winner.
9, Nuruddin.
No, he did the piece of magic that got us the 3 points.
All right, fair enough. I'll give him an 8. Yeah, I'll give him an 8.
I've not seen him do that hold off players.
Yeah.
I've seen him whack it before.
But Nuruddin,
let me finish. Yeah. I've not seen Rashford do what he did when Johnny's trying to hold on to him, drag him, palm him off, and palm the other guy up and smash it in. He gets a 9.
Nuruddin, you know why he's not getting a 9 from me? You know why he's not getting a 9 from me? Like Alicia said, he slept in, all right? That's why he's not getting a 9. He gets an 8, okay?
No. He's better than that for me.
Imagine if we had him for 2 halves. Imagine if we had Rashford 2 halves. It might be an easy game.
At the end of the day, still to clear his head and to come on and answer back for the mistake that he made, I thought it was brilliant. You got to give him that. Martial, to me, gets a 4. I say it. He gets a 4 for me. And
what about Fred?
Fred 6.5. He came on and did bit.
I'm giving Fred. I'm going to give Fred a 7. I thought Fred was on it today.
He wasn't that good. He wasn't. He was 6.
Oh, come on, Nuruddin. He gave us energy the second half. Come on, man. That's a 7 at least, Fred.
No.
I'm not. I'm not his biggest fan, but I thought he was there. I thought he did a good job.
Listen, he didn't do anything to get a 7. I'm sorry. He did 6.5. That's what I'm giving him.
Come on, you're harsh, Nuruddin.
He ran on and made a couple of tackles and got a yellow card. Listen, he ran around, he gave a bit more energy, and a bit more like tenacity. But that's all he did. He didn't do
Nuruddin, come on, man.
He didn't create any space. He didn't do any of that.
All right.
The fans, the crowd want a 7 for Fred, man. We go with a 7.
Come on, everyone's saying a 7.
That's my point of view. So you all have to he gets a 6.5.
You've been overruled, man.
Everyone in the chat is saying Fred got a 7. Everyone
do that. It's an opinion. For me, he's looking to get 6.5 because all he did was run around a bit more. That's what he did.
Just give the guy a 0.5 extra, man. Everybody wants it in the chat. Just go with it.
You know, we're going to call this Fred's Red Army. That's what we're going to call the channel. We're going to set a rival one up against you, right? We're going to call it Fred's Red Army. And all these people in chat are going to join us. That's what it's going to do. All right. Oh, actually, you can call it Right Said Fred if you want. We'll call it Right Said Fred.
The Fred from Stoke or the one that comes apparently from
Hey, listen. I haven't seen the Fred from Stoke this year, Nuruddin. You know, let's be honest. Even you said when I spoke to you earlier today, you said, can you believe we got no Fred McTominay at the moment? Can you believe? You remember you said that to me?
Yeah.
You know, we should be happy about that, you know?
Yeah. Well, anyway, big up to everybody. Please, Happy New Year. Listen, I'm sorry for ranting and raving, but I'm just frustrated. With this football club. Super frustrated with this football club. That's how I am. To me, Rashford gets.
Yeah.
I've not seen Rashford score that type of goal. I have never seen him score that type of goal.
Yeah.
And today, when he needed to be strong, he was strong and he palmed. The guy literally had him like that. That Johnny literally had his arm to drag him down, and he palmed him up, and he smashed that goal in the middle of the net. So for me, he's my man of the match. So closely followed by Varane, who was magnificent. Varane was magnificent. And I thought Wan-Bissaka, for the second game in the league, I thought he did quite well. So we've not lost now. We've not lost in a 5. Well, we've not lost a lot of games in the league. To me, stats can be funny because 3 games ago in the league, we lost to. We got smashed up by Villa. That's what happened to us. But we'll see what Villa.
But Jordan, can I just, wait? You said that. I do think the Villa was a one-off. I just thought they were exceptional. I'd never seen them play like that before. I won't lie. I do think it was a one-off. I do think that was like we call that result an anomaly. That's what I thought.
No, it wasn't, Irfan. It wasn't. And you know what? When I called the bottle jobs the cowards, I get vindicated again and again. I see Brentford go to the Etihad and beat them. I see Everton to get a draw today. So when people were coming at me for calling the cowards for conceding 6 at the Etihad, I was vindicated. Everton are horrendous. Everton,
how much is Ivan Toney worth? Like real price, not fantasy price. What would you pay for him?
Well, it's 55, 60. No, it's not about what I pay for him. He's out for the rest of the season, it looks like.
Yeah.
No, forget that a second. What's he worth, do you reckon?
It's not about what he's worth. It's about what Brentford want. What Brentford...
I don't understand. But if you want to do another hour show, do you want to add another hour? Bringing him over. Do you want to do another hour? Is that what you want?
No. Brentford would want 70 to 80 million because it's
My
about
God,
them staying up or them going to the championship. So that's how much they would want if Man United were going to put a bid in for him. To me, I don't want him. He's admitted it on camera recently. He's a diehard Liverpool fan and he wants to play for Liverpool. And I don't want a Liverpool diehard fan coming to Man United. So for me...
Has he said that? Has he honestly said that?
Yes. He loves Liverpool football club.
Wow.
And it's his dream to play for Liverpool. That's his dream.
Shit. Man, this football business is... it's not good.
I respect him for being honest. But peace, love, light. Take care, people. Listen.
Wait a second.
Reactions. We're gonna try for half an hour because at the moment that it's ridiculous. It's almost 2 hours nearly. We're gonna try for half an hour. Half an hour, people. But big up to everybody. Happy New Year.
What do you mean? What we're gonna try? What for half an hour?
For the match reaction, half an hour.
No, we've done 1 hour 47 today. 1 hour.
No, we can't do it. Listen, we can't do that. We need to put the time down. But let us know in the comments, please, those of you watching later. And big up Stephen Kramer as well. We're not seeing you for a long time, man.
Yeah, big up Steve.
Celtic are doing well for you. I hope Celtic are doing well.
Happy
New Year to everybody. Yeah. And I always say win, lose, or draw. It's the only time I forgot to say it was yesterday because I was so tired. Win, lose, or draw. Glazers out, bankers out. And if anything, it's been a horrendous year footballing-wise for Man United. What we had to watch last season was one of the worst things I've ever witnessed in Man United. And you know what? When I came to this country as a young kid, City finished higher than us in that 1990 season. I think 90 season, City finished higher than Man United. But to what I saw last season, so I'm praying, I'm begging. First, I'm begging for world peace. That's the biggest and most important thing. My heart goes out to the Palestinians who are what's happening to them, the Yemeni, what's happening to them, the people in Ukraine who are getting bombed for nothing that they've got nothing to do with, which is a bloody war between Russia and America. But big up to everybody, love and light. Big up to all the people in East Africa who are literally, some of them are gonna die because of droughts and plus climate change and what's happening. Climate
and the civil war and Tigray, remember Tigray?
Yeah, horrible things are happening around the world. So I'm hoping everybody peace and love and light. But we're gonna have to cut these short. But please let us know if you like the long format or if you like the short format.
Yeah, let the people decide. Let's see what you lot want. You want it short? You want it long? Yeah. You know, because it's not just us. It's not just about us lot. It's about you lot as well. It takes all of us to make this happen.
Exactly. But listen, big up to everybody. We'll see what happens with Spurs tomorrow. I think Spurs are going to win tomorrow. I think they've got majority of their players back. So this top 4 thing is only temporary, people. Don't get giddy and don't get overexcited. But it is what it is. Love and light. Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
And remember, before you remember, the key thing about the therapy is that when I feel I'm doing a program, and obviously Bumba here and Nuruddin and Mr. Structure's here, we're having joint therapy together. So we are help healing our own sanity with this crazy Man United together. So that is why it's a good thing. So when Nuruddin gets shouts and gets angry, he's a diehard 1000% Man United support, and that's how he lets it out. That's how he vents. But
I wasn't in the stadium. I wasn't in the stadium to let it out.
Yeah.
I wasn't in the stadium.
So you vent, yeah. But I'm saying, even if you vent here, you let it out. I know you let it out because you have to let it out, and everyone supports and shows their passion in different ways. So I like it because I think it's very honest and real. When you get angry and you shout and scream about team, I've met people that were, but only passionate people behave like that. So don't take it personally. It's just how human beings are. So all good, all good.
And we support every striking union, by the way. We're striking. I think we should have a general strike in this country.
No, we're gonna do the channel. I told you we're gonna do the channel. We're gonna do the other channel about food, culture, sport, film, etc. You know, I want this lot, if they're going to listen to the channel, to hear you talk about film, because that'll blow their brains when you talk about film. So we got to get that together.
Love and light, people. Happy New Year, and we'll see you.
Happy New Year to everyone. Yeah, thanks for everything, all the support this year.
Everybody, man. It's been, yeah.
It's been about. We're hoping for everything to get better because the world is crazy right now.
Yeah.
Love and light. Good night. Peace, love and light.
Take care. Happy New Year to everyone.
We've got 1 hour and 50 minutes for the New Year.
1 hour 15.
Yeah, 150. 1 hour and 50 for a New Year special. That's what you've got. Big up, everybody. Love and light. Take care. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. Hit the notification because it lets you know when we're next live. Take care, people. Love.
Peace.
Love. Love. Take care, people. Peace. Glazers out, bank.